Hey, you sneaking up on me?
Kind of.
Hello.
Hi. Is that the information from the La Mesa Wellness Group?
Yes, it is. They almost make it sound like it's a vacation. Here, you can read up on it.
I will.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, since you asked, Katherine Bell, Sean Donnelly, something grandmother said the other day.
Well, Sean, Katherine, and Lila. What an odd combination.
Yeah, it is kind of odd, isn't it? You know, Mom, word has it that Katherine's all over Sean to try and find out who poisoned her, and I don't think that she's going to give up until somebody is charged for attempted murder.
Well, a list of suspects would be tremendous. But I think if we stick to our plan, there's no problem.
I don't know about that, Mom. I mean, you know how this woman is. She's a real pain, and frankly, she's out for Quartermain blood. She's going to do everything that she can to steer Sean Donnelly right in our direction. And sooner or later, you could stumble onto Reginald and the whole cover-up.
There's always that possibility, yeah.
Well, Sean's already started asking questions, Mom. And personally, I don't want to have to worry about how Grandmother's going to be affected if Reginald's forced to answer for this.
Well, she would be devastated. But I don't know how one would deflect Katherine if she was determined.
Let me ask you something. What do you think would happen if Katherine was found to have the pills in question in her possession? It could look as if she tried to poison herself.
That would be a very tidy solution, yeah. But we both know that's not what happened.
Just follow me on this for a second. Now, what if someone was able to convince Sean Donnelly that this self-destructive little scenario was possible? Of course, you'd have to go into the witch's apartment to search it to confirm it. But what if upon that search you found a stash of pills?
That would not look good, would it? In fact, that would look very bad.
Yeah, but maybe just bad enough. I mean, not so bad that she would be prosecuted, but maybe bad enough that it would undermine her self-righteous outrage and get Sean Donnelly off her backs.
We both know it was Reginald who did the deed. Now, why would Katherine have pills in her apartment? It would only be a waste of time for Sean.
You don't know that. I mean, Mom, you never know what people have in their medicine chest these days. A woman like Katherine, willing to watch Dad fry to get her way? Might be worth it.
You know, sweetheart, if you believe in karma, this should be a time in my life where I should be conducting myself, morally speaking, above reproach.
Mom, let me tell you something. When it comes to Katherine, there is no moral equivalent.
And I might as well face the fact I'm going to hell anyway. We never had this conversation.
What conversation? I'll give Sean Donnelly my best.
Wonderful. Smell good, too.
Well, we both know I look like hell, so thank you for being so chivalrous.
Oh, now, come on. To me, you'll never be less than beautiful. But tell me the truth. How are you really feeling?
Hopeful. I'm going to go to Arizona after the first of the year to a place called the La Mesa Hospital Wellness Group. It's a progressive treatment center.
Ellen going with you?
Just me. I don't really want to watch my family suffer while they watch me suffer, so I'm going to do this by myself and emerge victorious.
No doubt. I'll tell you what, I'll send out all of my most powerful and positive thoughts to you. How's that?
I like that, thank you.
I'm sure you just didn't drop by to see me with the sole purpose of telling me about the wellness group, huh?
No, actually, I came to talk to you about Katherine Bell. The other day, Lila, in her frustration, made an off-the-cuff remark that seems to have taken on a life of its own.
What remark was that?
That Katherine was responsible for her own drug overdose.
Oh, I'm sure that Lila was just being facetious, that's all.
Well, isn't it silly? I mean, it seems to have gotten into the atmosphere, and it's haunting me. We both know she's capable of something like that.
Why don't you just clarify it for me then, huh?
Well, she's a liar, she's a blackmailer, she's an embezzler, who knows what else she is. could have intentionally taken the number of pills so they'd show up in her system. She could have staged that collapse on the stairs. I mean, the only wild card was the fact that she hit her head so hard she ended up in a coma. But the truth is, Sean, the drugs really had very little effect. What happened was that she got caught in her own web.
What was her motive then?
Well, greed. I mean, she was desperate. She had tried everything she could to keep her claws in the Quartermain flesh. But we managed to shake her loose. She couldn't get Ned. She couldn't get any of us to fall in love with her. So she was humiliated. She was exposed. And then summarily discarded.
And still kept coming back for more until someone decided to do her in? Huh?
Oh, Sean. Come on now, that's predictable. I mean, that's the conclusion she'd like you to draw. You know, you've got to remember that she was the one that called that meeting that night. It wasn't us. I mean, this was her last grandstand play. If she had succeeded, she could have easily begged off with a headache, gone home, and slept the whole thing off. But she failed. So she had to get up on that staircase and pretend to collapse or whatever. She knew we would take her to the hospital, and the blood test would reveal that there was medication in her system. She could accuse all of us then of trying to do her in. And then Edward would spend millions of dollars trying to shut her up. And none of that worked. It all failed. So now she's in quite a state. She also happens to be a rather spoiled brat, in case you hadn't noticed.
Oh, I've noticed, all right. And I might even buy this scenario of yours if there was some real proof to support it.
Well, I mean, the proof would be, well, the evidence would be in her apartment, most likely. And then you would have to get a search warrant.
Oh, come on, Monica, that's quite a stretch, isn't it?
Well, granted. But I'll tell you something, Sean. I'm getting a little tired of the Quartermains being suspect every time someone gets a hangnail in this town. Katherine thought we were easy targets. Come on, you're not going to find any evidence if you don't look for it.
I'd still have a very hard sell to a judge to obtain a search warrant. Come on.
Well, you can say that you were trying to eliminate a suspect. And who knows, Sean, you might just find some evidence there, and then she could be punished for the scam that she did.
You certainly have sold yourself on this one, haven't you?
Well, it isn't just wishful thinking, you know. I mean, the Quartermains have been under a great deal of scrutiny lately by you, by the press, by the public. One of the reasons I have to go away in order to heal and get better. And I'm not really looking forward to being in Arizona, knowing that my family is going to have to do battle once again with public perception. I thought maybe, friend, you might empathize. Would you just consider it?
Well, the most important thing right now, Monica, is for you to stop worrying.
Well, I'd certainly like to do that. Okay. You have a happy new year and give my best to Tiffany.
I will. Yeah, find Garcia for me. I want to see him.
Want to see me, boss?
Yeah, I did. I want you to request a search warrant for Katherine Bell's apartment. Look for digoxin and phenobarbitol.
No problem. I'm on it.